Tony has a question. Tony says this: I have a question regarding going uphill backwards, and why is it especially beneficial for women? Well, I thought I talked about that in detail before, Tony, but this is the internet, and so everybody asks a lot of the same questions. So we first came up with this idea years and years ago in Denison, Ohio at discus camp, and we were doing farmer walks up hills, and one of the first things we all noticed was how that horseshoe muscle around the knees really started to light up when you did the farmer walk backwards up a hill. If you don't have a hill, if you don't live in Utah or Colorado or something, or Vermont, you can do it with sleds, just walking backwards with sleds. Though I've actually had some people tell me, now I found this interesting, that just simply walking backwards is helpful too, which I really thought was like, because as a strength coach, everything I think and do has to be load, 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 load. And yet, as I've been around for a while, I started strength coaching in 1979, actually before a little bit too. Just because I fall in love with load doesn't mean the whole world needs more load, more load, more load. So it's the horseshoe muscle building. And while we were doing it that day, we had a number of really fine high school female athletes who play volleyball and basketball and track, who began to tell me, it was like almost instant feedback. If you've got instant feedback, almost universally is that aha moment. Wow, I can't believe this. And they were saying that this is what their trainer, their therapist was trying to get, that feeling of that burn around there. That's what they said I should have. But when they did those other exercises, they didn't feel it. They felt it on their quads higher up, and there's nothing wrong with that. But with the Q angle on women, that's the hips to knee angle, instead of being straight down, there's a bit of an angle. Where that kind of connects down there, Tony, is to the knee. That can be an area that gets a little, one bad landing in a volleyball game or a basketball game, and boom, ACL or PCL or whatever the L's are nowadays, and you need those. He says this: can you help me out and just give an overview of this exercise and its benefits for women specifically, and maybe a loose outline of how to get into your training program? Well, I don't know, Tony, if that's so complicated to walk backwards up a hill, but you could do it like we do. And during our walks, we have a little mound we go to, and we walk backwards up the mound, and that's we kind of pick some numbers and just go up and over and up and over and up and over. It is one of the sad things with the onslaught of COVID and the pandemic, is that this was becoming a daily practice in our gym, and we got away from it. And it's something that, and thank you for reminding me of it, Tony, I want to bring it back because I really like doing it. So you can just throw it in, you can just sprinkle it in like a herb or a spice into a meal, just, toss it in a little bit. Or you could say, 2 days a week, 1 day a week, as part of your strength conditioning program, you put it in. Since it is a loaded carry, if you're doing backward sled pulls in a gym, we put it towards the later part of the workout. I don't really use that idea very much, but one thing I think might be a really good idea is if you're having your female athletes do hinge family, hip thrusts, supersetting hip thrusts with backward sled carries might be a really good idea. Supersetting squat variations with backward walking might be a really good idea. I don't have experience with it, but my insight tells me I'm right on